Hello and welcome to another episode of Don't Even Think About Living Another Day Just So You Can Go to Work and Back, also known as Don't Live to Work. So today's going to be quite a special one as we're going to explore Paris.
Now, with plenty to get through on this episode, I'm not planning to waste any more time on this intro.
So let's get started. Wow, and that view is absolutely breathtaking. I'm going to go for something light so I can enjoy some more cafes here in Paris, because that's what it's all about when you're here. I managed to get in a nice bit of kip last night. It was quite a long drive, and you don't actually realise how tired your body actually gets from a long drive. So I've just sat down for some breakfast, and straight after this I'm going to pop into the spa for a little while, just relax off there, then we'll be checking out the rest of the city.
The sight of French breads, croissants, French cheese and baguettes immediately made me feel at home in the heart of France. And I know exactly what you're thinking. That does not look very healthy at all. However, I did manage to squeeze in some fruit and some freshly squeezed fruit juice by the end of breakfast.
So I've just started the day with a nice healthy breakfast. Well, actually I'm not sure if I'd call it healthy, but let's stick with the word balanced for now. But yeah, it's always great to start the day with a nice big breakfast so you've got plenty of energy, especially if you're traveling. And now I'm just heading over to the spa where I'm just going to relax for a little while, let all the muscles recover after that awfully long drive.
After a brief hydration stop, I was greeted by a completely empty spa. I really do seem to have some pretty good luck at times.
Time to get some heat into me before we get to Switzerland, because we know it's around about minus 10, 15, potentially minus 20 on some days there. So yeah, let's get this heat in. So I've just come out from the sauna and steam room at the hotel, and I've had a great little swim, done a few laps this morning just to get my muscles going for the rest of the day, so we're ready to explore the rest of Paris. I always find it's a great way to start the day, do a bit of exercise, get moving, to get that blood pumping around. So I'm just cooling off in the hotel courtyard. As you can see behind me, there's a little bit of nature and greenery there, which I absolutely love. So I'm just going to go get ready quickly, and then the plan is to drive a little bit closer to the centre. So we're about 20 minutes or so away from the city centre. What I might do is drive about 15 minutes or so, leave the car there and give myself a break from the car for a little while, and then use the metro system. So yeah, it's time to get active and get on and off those trams. So I'll just be picking up the car from the car park now, and then we're going to head over a little bit closer to the city centre. Then from there I may just jump onto the metro system, because it is pretty good here in Paris. And it's the best way to get around, because the traffic here is just absolutely horrendous. So let's see how it goes. If the traffic's not too bad, we might continue. If I feel it's piling up a bit too much, we'll just jump onto the metro systems. So I've just come down to the car park, and we seem to have a problem on our hands. I can't actually find the car just yet. But on the bright side, I've just come across this beautiful Mini here. I'm just going to flip the camera around. I think that's just such a cute little car. And the colour, that's actually one of my favourite colours in classic cars. And as you probably know, I love classic cars, and especially if they're emerald green, or what we call it British racing green back at home. But yeah, beautiful. I'm pretty sure it was in one of these bays on the left here. It all looks the same, and that happens with a lot of car parks. Whenever you go in there, like, you know what level you're on, but you'll just be running circles around until you can find where you've actually parked. We'll get there. Aha, I think we're actually in luck. It helps when these lights turn on automatically, actually, so I've just found it. So let's get in and head to our destination. Crazy guy has gone and parked right next to my car, and I can't even open that door. So we are now out the car park, and what an awful car park that was to get out of. Don't you just hate it when you go to a major city like London or Paris or one of the major cities, and the car parks are so tiny? I mean, how do they expect you to actually park in those car parks? So the first stop is the famous Arch in Paris. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because I will definitely get it wrong. But yeah, as usual, stuck in the queue of traffic up to the Arch. It's a pretty busy place. I have luckily found a car park nearby. It's an Indigo car park. So I'll just chuck the car into the car park, and then from there, we'll have a little tour of this area, which is one of my favourite spots in Paris. And then we'll look out for a metro station so we can check out all the other attractions. So I did manage to find some local parking not far from here. And I'm just trying to get those steps in because I know tomorrow I've got a long journey, over 1,000 kilometers or so. So best time to get the steps in today. And actually I've just seen a nice row of motorcycle there outside Triumph. I actually love motorcycles. I'm actually a motorcyclist myself, and I love classic motorcycles, so yeah, perfect. Yeah, so today the weather here is around about 4 degrees Celsius. It's a little bit chilly, but at the same time, nearly got knocked over. So yeah, it's about 4 degrees, but I'm trying to climatize a little bit because when we get to Switzerland, we are going up into the Swiss Alps, which at the moment is around about minus 15 to 20 degrees, which is bitterly cold, so I do need to get used to it. So I thought I'll wear something a lot thinner just so I can climatize. As we walk up towards the Arch, this is actually one of my favourite streets. It's just full of lots of poncy little and chic sort of cafes scattered all over the place. So I did have a huge breakfast this morning. So I think what I might do is skip lunch. You know, I must say there's so many beautiful motorcycle places here. Like you've got a Harley Davidson shop just here. I don't know if you can see it. There was another one we just went past. But yeah, so I think I'll skip lunch today and go to one of these, another Harley Davidson place. What is going on? There we go. Yeah, I'll skip lunch and go into one of these cute sort of cafes, and you can join me there.
Now, being just a bit of a motorcycling enthusiast, I couldn't help myself but to stop and appreciate these absolutely beautiful works of art. I mean, just look at those chromes.
So I just love that initial view as you head up towards the Arch. It just looks so substantial in size, and the whole architecture of it. I feel Paris is like one of the best places when it comes to historical architecture. And if you can see along the top, there are actually people, if you look right at the top, I can't actually zoom in I think, but if you have a look right at the top, there are actually people standing on top of it. So it just shows you the scale and size of this arch. If you are planning to visit here, what you don't want to do is try to cross that road. There's no need. There's actually like a subway tunnel that goes under the road, and you can access the arch from there. Okay, I can hear there's some music down here. Let's see what's going on. This guy is doing a fantastic job of entertaining everyone here. And what a view as you come out from the underground tunnel on the road. And that just looks amazing. Talk about getting those steps in. Literally got hundreds of steps to get up. I'll get to the top of this beautifully made spiral staircase. I'll see if I can show you a view of it. Here you'll see it spirals all the way to the top, and very beautifully made as well. So yeah, what I love about this actually piece of architecture is that this was actually commissioned by the Emperor Napoleon himself, and it's been here for the best part of almost 200 years. And you would think it was built yesterday when you see the remarkable quality and the engineering that's gone into building this place. Well, you would have been surprised when you consider it took, I think, about 3 decades to build this place. So, yeah, patience is a virtue, and they definitely had patience. Unfortunately, a bit too much patience, because they actually completed the build of it after his death, which I think it was somewhere in the 1800s. But I'm not the best historian, so I'd have to fact check that one. Oh, I'm actually getting quite tired. We're almost there at the top. A few more steps to go. So yeah, it was actually built to celebrate the triumphs of the French military. So yeah, it has quite a patriotic feel when you get up here. The standard of that carving there is just absolutely phenomenal. And here you can see a live view down to the centre of the arch in the courtyard just beneath the actual arch itself. So we're just going to head to the upper floor. I think we were somewhere in the middle of the arch there. But the whole thing is just so fantastically built. You know, it's natural stone sort of walls, and they're actually real thick walls that go all the way through. It's not just some sort of cladding like what you see nowadays, or something made of plasterboard. It's the real deal. There's a bit of history playing here. We're just going to head over to the terrace now, which is even more steps. But I think I kind of need this bit of exercise, so let's do it. And even more steps, but I can see some light, which is always a good sign. Ah, we finally made it to the top. Wow. And that view is absolutely breathtaking. Let me just spin that camera for you. I mean, that view there is just absolutely phenomenal. So this street down here that you can see straight ahead of you, the one on the left just there, that's the one we're going to go down later, where there's a lot of cafes. And as we look further into the right, there we can see a bit of the Eiffel Tower, which we're going to go and see later. Half it's actually covered in clouds at the moment. It's quite a cloudy day. So yeah, we will go visit that. But just look at that view. So history has just always inspired me, and I've loved going to a lot of these historical places, and it's not for everyone, I get it, but you have to do what you like in life, and hence why I do a lot of solo traveling. History is not everyone's cup of tea, so dragging someone to historical sites isn't always the most pleasant experience. But yeah, and the other benefit with actually traveling solo, I find, is you can go at your pace, so you're not lagging behind if someone's moving too fast, and on the other hand of it, you're also not making somebody else rush behind you if they can't keep up with you. So I do find that traveling alone has its benefits. Although, mind you, I do go on quite a few family holidays. I probably cover a good 3 or 4 family holidays a year, but you can't beat solo traveling. So many other benefits of traveling by yourself to these sites. Firstly, obviously, if you're enjoying it anyway, you like going to these places, that's your first tick box straight away. But I mean, it can really help you build more confidence and get a bit more self-independent, and kind of expand your comfort zone as well. So yeah, there are many benefits. So we're just going to head back down again now, because up here I find it's just a little bit more colder than it was down there. Speaking of the benefits of traveling solo, I also find it's actually really good for meeting new people and new contacts. And even if you're just out on a leisurely trip, you still do meet a lot of contacts, which can be very beneficial, especially if you're traveling alone on business travel, like I've been doing for years, since God knows how long. But when I first started the importing business, I was traveling back and forth through China and Dubai and other parts of the world multiple times a year, and it really does give you access to so many more contacts, because you find when you're with people, you'll just end up talking to each other, so you won't actually meet anybody new or talk to new people. When you're alone, it's the best way of meeting new people. And I've just come across this piece of art here, so let's have a look at it together. Now that there, I think that looks like quite a detailed piece. Obviously it's very old. We should have some information on the side here. So if any of you like art, here's some information. They've got a beautiful little gift shop up here, and I quite like these cushions here. I think they're sort of embroidered with a picture of the arch in there, and they've got the Eiffel Tower on this one here. I think they're made so nice, and lots of other little bits and bobs. Now I like these models here of the Eiffel Tower. I don't really collect these sort of ornaments, but I quite liked this ornament of the Eiffel Tower, and the last time I was here I actually took one with me. I just think it's made so nice with the sort of brass metal finish on it. Really nice. And the detail on this little lamp light here, I love that. I'm actually a massive fan of lights. You who probably know me will probably know that I actually have a lighting manufacturing company, and one of my flagship brands is Ecolux, which is available all over the world. So yeah, I do take a keen interest in lighting, so whenever I see lights I have to stop and do a bit of a case study into it and try to understand a little bit more about it. And speaking of business, in the last episode we were talking about how you should try to streamline your businesses into one, as opposed to having loads of little different businesses, because that's when you really begin to lose focus, and you can really start to lose focus of your own personal life at the same time. Ooh, I've just come across something interesting here. I wonder what this is. Looks like a prison cell halfway up the staircase. So if you are going to be taking on multiple businesses, it's always best to sort of try to streamline those businesses, like I've done myself. And I always try to give you advice on this channel on things that I've done myself or that I'm doing myself that are helping me achieve a more fulfilling life. So yeah, I would definitely recommend, rather than spreading into many different sectors where you have to focus on so many different things, it can get quite tiring, and then eventually it becomes a bit of a chore. So yeah, try to focus in either one business or expand within that business and things that bring more focus into my life. So for me, as you'll probably know, I'm an importer. We import from many places in the world and supply to wholesale. So there's a few different brands within that business that I've got. But inevitably, I try to keep it all within import-export. Now there's a couple of other little small projects I've got on the side, but again, as I mentioned in the last vlog, I'm not actively involved in those ventures. So if you don't have to actually put any physical energy into those ventures, then it's absolutely fine. So it's always a lot easier going down the stairs than it is going up the stairs. But on the way down, it's just like, it's never ending. So I find that it's actually just as hard getting down these stairs as it was going up these stairs. Better stop recording that before I fall down these stairs, and I'll see you at the bottom. So my head's actually almost spinning now after that never-ending spiral staircase. So I'm just taking a little breather. Now I've got the bottom. So I'm just admiring the bottom of the bottom side of this arch. I'm just going to flip the camera so you can see the detail that's gone into the sort of carvings and the masonry that's gone into building this arch, and such a beautiful piece. Oh, they've got a flame here. I think I was reading somewhere that that's like a never-ending flame. It never turns off. It just keeps going. They keep refueling it, so it keeps on burning. Just gonna head down the Avenue de Wagram. I think that's how you pronounce it. One of my favorite streets in Paris. So, yep, let's just head on over that way. There we are, just going down that street, one of my favorite places in Paris. Right opposite where we've got the arch, I've always noticed there's a Qatari flag just up here. And it's actually quite a monument. It's one of the main places in Paris. So to have like a Qatari building right opposite it, I mean, that's some seriously prime land right over there. I'm not absolutely sure what it is. Maybe it's an embassy or something like that, but it's quite impressive. They've got something right opposite the arch. But yeah, moving on down this road, you've got lots of designer shops here, your Cartier, Mont Blanc, so many beautiful little cafes. For all you shopaholics out there, these are some of the places you probably want to visit. I'm personally not much of a shopaholic, but I'm sure many of you are, so if you love your shopping, it's quite a nice little place to visit. Oh, I just love the smell of these cafes down this street. You can just smell fresh donuts that have just come out fresh, and I think it's just the smell of sugar that you can just smell literally everywhere here. Here's another little cute cafe just here. And that seems to be a bit of a thing here, like all the cafes coming out onto the street where they've got a lot of seating outside. And that's something you don't really get much in the UK. I mean, this place is just as cold as the UK, so I'm not sure why this culture isn't actually in the UK. I find it's really quite sociable with everybody just sitting outside their restaurants. And I mean, even Mackey's nailed it here. They've got seating right outside here. That's saying something.
Now this gigantic box right here is just an LV store. I'd suppose they were going through some sort of a renovation that they had clad it all off, but I do quite like how they've designed it to look like one of their packaging boxes.
And around here, normally there's always a queue to get in. Let's see if there's a queue today. Oh, there actually isn't. Now, mind you, it is a weekday, but I'm sure this will get pretty packed as it goes towards the evening and towards the weekend. This is a great little perfume store. I remember when I was in Doha a couple of months back, and this store's up there, and they do some really good fragrances, so yeah, great little place. I think we'll take a quick little break and grab a quick hot drink in here, and then we'll continue on. So if anyone knows how to pronounce this, I'm terrible when it comes to French words, please do let me know. But yeah, I like this place. I like the colours and the way it's all done, and even the well, obviously the food they offer is pretty decent. These are some nice little desserts here and delicacies. Macarons, if you like macarons. So let's get seated and check out the menu here. Just when I thought I'd had enough of spiral staircases, they've given me another one. Never ending. But I suppose I could do with the steps. I've got a very long drive tomorrow, so it's probably the right time to get some exercise in. Come up, you're welcomed with this beautiful grand piano. And for those of you who know me, I am a bit of a musician myself, so I do like that. And they also have quite a sweet tooth as well. That's the other thing, which always catches me out. I love how they've done the ceiling in here. I think it's really nice. Almost feels like you're outdoors in a garden or something. Quite nice. So I'm all seated now. I'm gonna have a look at the menu, see what they've got. I think I'm gonna go for something light so I can enjoy some more cafes here in Paris, because that's what it's all about when you're here. I think I'll go for an avocado toast, which is a healthier option, and maybe some macarons and a hot drink. So until the food comes, I'll just get my good old school paper map out I know there's a lot of apps that you can do this on, but I actually prefer the old school method where you've got a map of the city and you can see where places are in relativity to where you are. So I think we'll head over to the Eiffel Tower actually after this. Well, I was hoping that I could get there a bit later so I could show you the lights on the Eiffel Tower. But yeah, let's see how it goes.
3, 2, 1.
There we go. Wow, that's a pretty thick hot chocolate.
Yes. Enjoy.
Thank you. Looks pretty good. Thank you. So yeah, I couldn't convince myself to have another cappuccino this morning, so I thought I'd go for the signature hot chocolate. So it's not actually really sweet. It tastes quite rich and heavy, but it's not like overly sweet, which is quite nice. It's quite interesting the way they put the cream separate and not in the actual hot chocolate, which is quite nice. Nice way of doing it. So the avocado on toast with sweet potato fries have arrived, and I think it looks quite delicious. And it's so easy to just pick out when you're in France the sort of choices that you have, but it's always, thank you, it's always good to try and keep it balanced and healthy. And this is the thing, life is all about choices and balance, and I mean, you are what you eat, and if you get careless about what you're putting into your body, it's just a matter of time before it starts affecting your health. So it's understandable if you're out on vacation and you want to spoil yourself a little bit, but where possible, if you keep it as healthy as you can, it really does help. Just paying by card, please, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Merci.
Unfortunately, that is all we have time for in today's episode. I have split this vlog up into 2 parts, so keep an eye out for the next one. I really do hope you have enjoyed this episode, and as always, keep on liking and subscribing. The next one is really going to be quite fantastic as we explore the rest of Paris. Till next time, keep on practicing those tips and tricks, and I will see you in the next one.